Hey guys, it's Lazy. Welcome back. Today we are talking about the Amazon Ascendancies from the new Huntress class in PoE 2 Dawn of the Hunt update. Now I know I should probably have waited for the patch note to get more details, but I have already done a lot of work and research, so I can't really hold off until next week, and I'm really excited to share what I know about the Ascendancy so far for you. In this video, we are going to break down what the Amazon Ascendancy is all about, and I will share with you my lightning Javazon ideas, which is most likely what I'm going to start with. It looks extremely fun and it has really strong potential, so let's jump right in and see what this class have to offer. Now, the Amazon is all about the power and flexibility, and it has really strong raw power, but less complex mechanics. I think everything is really cookie cutters, and in this kind of meta, the Amazon is probably going to be very strong and have really good potentials for scaling physical damage, for ailment base, and elemental damage. Also, I want to put this out of the way first, but I think the bow might be very strong on the Huntress as well. You can both use a bow and a spear when riding a Roa, and so depends on the patch note and numbers. I think bow is going to be really strong. I am, however, is going to stick truthfully to the Amazon class by using a spear in the league start. First up, we'll talk about the Ascendancy Nodes, and we'll start with Stalking Panther. It says that evasion rating from equipped helmet, glove, and boots is double, but the evasion rating from equipped body armor is half, which is not that strong if you are a purely evasion base. This is, however, can be pretty good in the upcoming league because we are getting a lot more unique items. And essentially, this means that this particular Ascendancy nodes can make you have a flexible open slot for your body armor and will let you go evasion base and can still give you some really unique power. For example, if I were to use a Ghost Ride in the spot, and I would have benefits from the evasions from my other slots, and I would have benefits from the energy shields that I get from Ghost Ride. It is, however, not really a good example because even with Ghost Ride, you would lose too much evasion to be worth it. It is not that strong in the current patch, but with the upcoming patch, like I mentioned, we get a lot more body armor, so don't sleep on this note, but just keep that in mind for now. Next up, we have the Mystic Harvest, and this basically gives life leech for both elemental and physical damage for your attack, not spell, and the only form of spell leech is on the Blood Mage right now. Leech by itself is not really a strong mechanics in PoE 2. It helps keep you in the fight and help you sustain, but it is not build defining, and it will be interesting to see how this pair well the parry mechanic and stuff like that. We'll have to see though, because later on when we get to the end game, we might have to fight prolonged battle with the Exiles, and with the damage squish, then maybe life leech and some form of sustain is going to be good. Next up, we have Azmeri Brew, which say that Life Flask also recover mana, and Mana Flask also recover life. Essentially, double up on your flask efficiencies. And I played the Demon form before, and I went through the campaign, so I think that Flask Sustain is actually a pretty good thing in PoE 2. It is definitely pretty strong in the early game, and it can carry you through the campaign. But there are much to be desired for the late game. So anyway, that is the 3 generic notes, and I think they are just normal. There's nothing special about these notes. And let's talk about the specialized note for our build. The first 4-pointer notables that I want to talk about is going to be Elemental Infusions and Infused Avatar. So these two notes paired together, basically it gives you Infused Weapon. You consume Power Charge, Endurance Charge, and Frenzy Charge to generate the equivalent infusions on your next projectile that you are going to shoot out. I am not sure if the elemental infusion number is final yet, but it's looking kind of okay. We just need to know the base damage of the skills, and we can decide from there. Now, in the game, there are several ways to generate charge reliably, and we are going with a lightning-based Javazon character though, so we definitely need to generate Frenzy Charge. From what I can see in the trailer, you can parry to get Frenzy Charge. You can also do the freeze, electrocute, and pin enemy by using combat frenzy as well to generate the frenzy charge. So we have a lot of options if we are going down the lightning infusion base, and I think that's what I will start with. It is very simple and it should work. Depending on the patch node, and for this ascendancy point to make sense for our investment, each of these points ideally would give us about roughly 20% more damage for it to make sense. Again, we have to see the patch node, we have to see the base damage of the skills, and then we can go from there. The elemental infusion attack by itself have roughly about 612% attack damage, so it is not bad, but we'll have to see. Next up, we'll have Predatory Instinct and In for the kill. So, Predatory Instinct reveal weakness against rare and unique monster, and you do 50% more damage against monsters that have open weakness, which is extremely strong. Now, the catch with this particular open weakness mechanics, in my opinion, as you can see, the monster life bar, wherever it has that red thing shown at the bottom, is where it has open weakness. So you definitely won't have this up 100% uptime, and you can only do more damage as you chunk the monster to that level that has the open weakness debuff on the life bar. In my opinion, you can think of this like a soft execution, so whenever you get monster to that threshold that have the open weakness, you are going to stack up some really strong and big hits, and to be able to exploit that 50% more damage, and you will try to chunk the monster to the next open weakness threshold, therefore making the best and optimal way to damage the monster whenever it has the weakness open. From what I can tell in the trailer, I think the open weakness will take roughly 40 to 50% of the monster life bar, which means that if you are doing 50% more damage, this roughly translates to about 20 to 25% more damage on this particular Ascendancy node, which is not bad. In for the kill basically increase movement speed and skill speeds. 40% increase skill speeds when you have a monster with open weakness in your presence. In my opinion, this is no joke, because it would be really good in mapping, because you would have monsters that have open weakness most of the time, and it's great for bossing as well, to be able to get through the majority 40-50% of the boss health when you have open weakness would be really good. 40% skill speed is no jokes. Spears already have really good attack speeds, and the skill gems lower your attack speed roughly by half sometimes. However, having this would essentially cover for that, and you would have really fast attack speed. You also move very fast to avoid the boss attack, so if you get lucky and you get revealed weakness on the later half part of the fight where it gets harder, then you would be really set to finish the fight strong. So overall, I think Predatory Instincts and In for the Kills are both very good, and this combo on paper might not give you the best number, but having good movement speed and skill speed when you're fighting pinnacle bosses are going to help a lot. So for the critical strikes and penetrate Ascendancy nodes, at first glance they look really strong. We already have a few ways to boost accuracy in games. We have a few scaling vector for accuracy as well. We have Falcon Technique and Falcon Dive, and we are stacking dexterity, so we'll naturally have solid hit chance, and this make getting to 100% hit chance pretty easy. Now let's break down how accuracy kind of work in PoE. Your accuracy is compared to the monster evasions, and basically the game uses a formula to determine your hit chance. The formula calculates your uncapped hit chance based on your accuracies and monster evasion. The key takeaway here is that the higher your accuracy compared to the monster evasion, the better your chance of hitting them. Debuff will also help you hit more often, so for example, applying a blind effect can also reduce monster evasions by 20% at base, and maims also reduce it by additionally 15%, and if you use both, they also work together, which is great. And you can also scale the blind effect as well with the pocket and sense. Notable, the more blind effect you have, the lower the monster evasion is going to be, which is great. And because critical strike notes say that you gain additional critical hit chance equal to 25% of excess chance to hit with attack, this means that we had to look at some scenarios to kind of illustrate this. To keep it simple, if you are mapping, the base evasions of a level 84 monster will be 708 evasions, which mean that, for example, if you can get to the 3000 to 4000 accuracy range, your uncapped hit chance would be around 121.4%, giving 25% of that to your critical hit chance. The way that we are going to scale this into the endgame is we will use blind, we will use maim, and we'll scale the blind effect as well. These, in my opinions, are much more efficient to scale later into the game because you are lower the enemy's evasion instead of stacking more accuracy rating, which will have a diminishing return. So what does this mean? So essentially what it means is that you should only stack accuracy rating up to a certain point before you hit that diminishing return. Investing in blind effect and maim is also good and will help you scale into the late game. And you shouldn't over-invest it in accuracy rating. And for critical strike build, having excess accuracy is valuable because you will be guaranteed to hit, and those will be effectively, it will make you crits more. And the bottom line is this is going to be a pretty good note. You don't need to go overboard on investing in accuracy because there is diminishing return, but you shouldn't have a sweet spot of, like I mentioned, 3000 to 4000 accuracy range, and that sweet spot will give you some nice additional crit chance and then go to goals with your other stats. In the early part of the game, I think a really strong unique that fits well into the build is going to be the Sandstone Visage. And this one gives you enemy in your presence of blinded, and enemies in your presence getting critical weakness every second. So as I mentioned before, blinded is good, and we are also going to be mainly in melee range as well, even though we can throw a spear from the range. If we are fighting pinnacle bosses and stuff like that, you want to stay in the presence, so we can benefit from this helmet, which can be pretty nice. Critical weakness pair really well with our Ascendancy, which give more base crit chance for us in general, and it will be very easy for us to cap our crit chance. Oh, and by the way, I do believe that the Ascendancy Nodes should give us the base crit chance, because it wouldn't make sense if we give the additional crit chance, which in the sense it would be weaker than a single jewels that on the tree. So yeah, there's that. Lastly, we'll have Penetrate, and I think it's a pretty cool Ascendancy because it goes together well. It's you are stacking accuracy anyway, so you'll benefit from having accuracy on your weapons, and the flat damage that comes from this helps make up for the loss of the physical modifier roll on the weapons, and there might even be some unique spear in the endgame that work well with this. Overall, it's not a crazy note, but it is pretty solid given that you can get accuracies, hybrid accuracy fists on your weapons, and you can also socket in accuracy runes. You can craft some really good weapon for cheap. And finally, as promised, I want to talk a little bit about the lightning spear build concept that I have in mind. This build will focus on using elemental infusion to give us lightning infusion, in which will give us significantly boost the damage of our lightning spear, and this will help us clear map much faster and take out packs of monsters efficiently. We'll pair this with Predatory Instinct to increase our damage against rare and unique monster, because Lightning Spear will handle most of the AoE damage, but we'll still need some sort of solid single target damage skill to handle the rare and unique monster. The critical strike node will be essential in the late game as well. As we gear up, we'll definitely want to focus on crit in this build, because crit is just too good to pass up in a game like this. The critical strike nodes will be essential in the late game as we gear up. Definitely want to focus more on the crits, because in PoE, crit is just too good. The crit multiplier just scales so much better. Our Ascendancies already give us some really nice base crit chance, and Spear have good crit chance as well. As far as the last Ascendancy choice goes, I think it should be flexible. I'm leaning toward Infused Avatar, because with this node, we might be able to maintain Lightning Infusion on bosses with Sniper Mark with 100% uptime, and maybe if we reach 100% crit chance, we could swap this out for something else. For our skill setups, again, I'm definitely using Lightning Spear for AoE clear. This is going to be giving me some pretty good vibe of playing Diablo 2, the Javazon class, so I cannot wait to dive back into that kind of gameplay. The idea here is pretty straightforward. We'll throw out Lightning Spear to electrocute monster and generate Frenzy Charge. and then we'll use those charge with the Elemental Infusion to hit even harder. If it works like Charge Stab from the Monk, we can link Electrocute Gem with Elemental Infusions, and this will help us electrocute monster and generate more Frenzy Charge, so we will self-sustain. For single target damage, we'll use Barrage along with Sniper Mark. Sniper Marks will help us generate Frenzy Charge for single targets fight, and Barrage will serve as our damage cooldown. Depending on the damage multiplier, we might consider using skills with high multipliers, so I'm hoping skill like Spear of Solaris, Primal Strike, or maybe even Wind Serpent Fury. And there's also the early level combo seems pretty solid, so Whirling Slash combined with Stormlance and Twister could create some sort of shotgun effects, which again in PoE, shotguns overlapping damage is very strong and it can be very effective against big targets. Again, this is all speculation at this point, but that's the idea I have for the build. For the passive skill trees, I think obviously this is going to change. We are going to get probably different notable over here, and they will probably rework a lot of nodes. So obviously this is not final, but the key idea here is that you are going to stack accuracy on the trees. You are grabbing the frenzy node over here. You are grabbing blind effect. So we have pocket sand, we have some blind effect and blind on hit over here. And then we have maim over here, like I mentioned before, it all helps with increase your accuracy rating. And we have these stacking nodes for Falcon Dive, Falcon Technique. We're stacking a lot of dexterity on our trees, we're stacking invasions. And yeah, that's going to be the idea. We are also grabbing some elemental penetration, elemental damage node, because we are going for lightning damage. So we have some pretty nice node over here. Obviously, this could all change, but that's the basic idea, and that's what I plan to go with. And yeah. So there you have it. The Amazon Ascendancy has a lot of potential. It has very powerful scalings and versatile gameplay. For what it's worth, it is going to be pretty beginner friendly in my opinion, and it has a lot to offer. I would love to hear your thoughts on build idea and stuff like that. I think beside the lighting version of the Javazon that I'm planning to play, ailment is going to be pretty big on this class as well. I think bleed is going to be extremely strong and synergize pretty well with the ascendancies in general because of how crits and ailments scale together. Anyway, don't forget to comment and subscribe if you are interested in this kind of content, and stay tuned for more videos covering this ascendancies and even more ascendancies. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.